fine him for not showing up. So it's.
Hey, you're on, man.
Hey, we're on. I got nothing here. It's Mike Griffith with the Baco Motorsports Power Hour, our third season. Kind of not paying attention here. So anyway, third season. I'm here. Louis Amestoy's not here. I've got Steve Hughes from Kern County Raceway Park here for the entire show.
I'm here for the entire hour?
Well, we might go 45 minutes, an hour,
okay.
30 minutes, but...
It's a good thing I don't have anything to do.
Yeah, it's not like we're busy here. But anyway, our third season here covering this, and we've been covering it forever, I guess. We have a slide attaining to that, saying that.
Nice.
So a big weekend in racing. We were just talking about it, and I guess we'll start off with... the NASCAR race.
All right. The entire weekend? Because it was fun the entire weekend.
Yeah, fun
down
the
at
entire
Auto Club
weekend.
Speedway.
Did you go down there?
I did not.
Did not go down there, but we had a little NASCAR Sprint Cup race.
Yes, we did. Well, let's go back a day. Let's go back to the Saturday race because that was pretty exciting.
The Xfinity race.
Yeah, the Xfinity race on Saturday. I mean, Kyle Busch, that was the big deal leading into the weekend was, should these Cup drivers be allowed to race in the Xfinity series? Should we limit how many starts they have? How are we going to make this a level playing field?
And that's what happens when Kyle Busch was 3 for 3 coming into the Xfinity
going
series.
4 for 4 with, 1 lap to go, and blows a tire and rides that blown tire all the way around that big 2 mile speedway.
Right, he got passed by 2 cars.
Daniel Suarez passed him and then directly ran out of gas.
Right.
And then coming strong, Austin Dillon, man, he was 5 seconds back and makes the pass in turn number 4. Almost gets taken out by Kyle Busch.
Busch tried to rub him off in the wall.
Yeah.
Did not happen. And Kyle Busch finished second and wasn't very happy about it, I guess.
Boy, he let it fly on the radio, didn't he?
I guess he did. I didn't hear it. But that's part of we're talking about. We might as well talk about it now because a little Twitter war developed today between Kevin Harvick, who finished second in the Sprint Cup race on Sunday, and USA Today writer Nate Ryan. And basically, Nate Ryan retweeted a Jenna Fryer AP story saying good perspective on the race. And Jenna's basically saying that and made a comment about Harvick not being at the
press conference, post-race press conference,
even though he finished second.
So top 3 are required
to go.
So top 3,
well, allegedly required, but apparently not. So Fryer's basically the story is that maybe Busch might be fined for maybe radio stuff because NASCAR now has a behavior policy.
Yes, they do.
And kind of her take in this story is that this behavior policy might take some of the drama out of NASCAR because now people might be afraid to say anything on the radio, say anything on Twitter because they can be fined by the almighty NASCAR.
Actions derogatory to stock car racing.
Right, which is kind of...
And that used to be just left to throwing helmets at cars at Bristol in the pits, going up at Indianapolis Motor Speedway and slapping your rear end as the car goes by. Stuff like that used to receive the fines.
And Danica Patrick did that on Sunday.
Yes, she did.
So she's probably going to get fined because she went up the track, and
Yeah.
that's a no-no anymore.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, so this Twitter war develops between Nate Ryan and Kevin Harvick, and it's kind of funny. Just follow Kevin Harvick on Twitter. He says it's been that way for 2 years now of not having to go. I guess NASCAR was excused from going to the press conference.
Right.
And so just a little running thing, and,
Cool. Check it out. So
check it out on Twitter and look at that. It's kind of fun. But I think Jenna does bring up some good points that if NASCAR is going to fine drivers for tweets, for anything derogatory toward NASCAR, it become the NFL, the no fun league.
Yeah, right.
And
that's
that
part
is
of it. I mean, we like that. We like that radio chatter back and forth, that controversial stuff. And yeah, I tried to take him out. Or man, what was that guy thinking? And we get the updates on Monday mornings. You can go on the website and see all the highlights from the radio chatter. I don't want to miss out on that.
Yeah, and the radio chatter, if you're going to let your young son or daughter listen to radio chatter,
no.
You should know that it's unvarnished.
Yes.
It's not G-rated.
There's no 7-second delay.
It's not R-rated. It's R-rated
Yes,
for definitely
it is.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's no delay. These drivers and crew chiefs are going to say things, and some drivers are hotter than others and say more things on the radio when they're talking to their crew chief.
The Bush brothers in particular.
Yeah, and Mr. Harvick's been known to
Well, sure.
to be very unhappy on the radio, but it makes for
Absolutely.
great listening.
It does.
But it's just not G-rated. It's
Right.
R-rated.
Okay, so after all of that went
After
down,
all of that went
on
down,
Saturday, then we finally get to the Auto Club 400, the final race in NASCAR's West Coast swing.
and Kevin Harvick dominated this race.
had the car
he
to
led
beat.
had the car to beat all day long, and just like a week ago, he's leading. He's got like 2.5 second lead, 2 laps to go, and
Kyle Busch
Busch
blows
blows
a
a
tire.
tire.
Yep. And can't get to pit road, and immediately NASCAR throws
oh,
the
they
caution.
throw that caution
right
so
away.
fast.
So after Saturday's shenanigans with Kyle Busch, he blows a tire in Sunday's race while running second. Can't pull in onto pit road. They throw that caution immediately, and then we go into overtime.
Yeah, they wanted that little, without a doubt, they wanted that finish.
Yeah.
And the thing with Harvick, he dominated, but he wasn't real fast on short runs.
No.
It took his car 3 to 4 laps.
He was even saying 6 to 7 laps to
And
get rolling.
certainly at 6 to 7 laps, he'd just go by, and if he was fourth, he'd be third, second, first.
Right, his
and
car
then
didn't
pull away.
His car didn't fall off as quickly as the other
Right.
cars.
It
Yeah.
came on. The other cars fell off. He had a good long run car.
Yes.
Well, this is basically a 2-lap shootout,
Yep.
and he fell back. Jimmy Johnson got the lead. Kevin came back to second, but had nothing for Jimmy Johnson. So Jimmy Johnson gets the win. Kevin Harvick finishes second.
His 77th victory of his career.
That's amazing.
Was tied with Dale Earnhardt Sr. Now moves up the list with 77 victories. Pretty amazing.
77. Hey, that's pretty
he
amazing.
says he feels just as strong as ever. So
Right.
congratulations to Jimmy Johnson. Our other Bakersfield driver, Casey Mears, pretty solid run, finishes up 17th.
Yeah, finished 17th. Not a bad day for Casey there, considering that he had gone, and I think he was still a lap down at that. A lot of cars went a lap down. He had some long green flag runs there
Right.
on Sunday, and anytime you have long green flag runs, you're going to end up with guys falling off.
I think they
and getting a
finished
lap
with
down.
25 cars on the lead lap
So-
after the checkered flag finally
So you
flew.
got a wave around sometime,
Yeah.
but a 17th place finish, you take that, go on to the next race, so not a bad deal.
And they get a week off, so they get a week off for Easter, and everybody's back at Martinsville 2 weeks from Sunday.
Yeah, a little short track racing.
Yeah, oh boy, the
That should
paperclip.
be- Yeah, some beating and banging, some pushing and shoving.
2 drag strips with hairpin corners at each end. So
Yeah, that's what it's.
pretty
Short
im-
drag strips, like 8th mile
That's right.
drags. So that's a little different racing for them. And then on back to the Xfinity race, we had Ryan Reed.
We kind of did that backwards.
Yeah,
didn't
we did that,
but
but
we're
we have
all
the
right.
slide
hey,
here.
We're just shooting from the hip
So
today.
so Bakersfield Ryan Reed, 14th place finish. Do you know this backline to that story?
I don't. Fill me in.
Well, I just happened to be watching at that point
Yeah.
of the race, and he was running in the top 10. I think he was 9th. Came in for a pit stop, and his gas man threw the gas can over the wall instead of handing it. And I mean, he just plastered the guy on the
Oh,
other side of
boy.
the wall who just was boom.
Right.
You can't throw pit equipment.
No, you cannot.
Stop and go. He goes a lap down. There goes any chance for a pretty good finish. He battled back to 14th. Not bad, but that was it just seems that no matter what, Ryan Reed's always
Right.
around that 14th, 15th place
Well-
finish. And here's a day where he was having a really good run, and
We got to
there's a mess
remember,
up
it's
in the
just
pits.
it's only his second full season in the Xfinity Series. Kid's
Right.
still learning, and you know what? He's just not the kid with diabetes. The kid's a great driver, great young man, very well spoken. His family came out to Kern County Raceway last Thursday to do a little work with the folks from NBC that were here all week long. Rutledge Wood, Kyle Petty, and all those guys that were out here for the
Yeah,
NBC
we-
Sports Network.
And
So
we'll-
they did
we'll
an interview
mention
with
that
him.
real quick.
Yeah,
They were out here all week. We did not have a show last week because Kevin Harvick and was doing a little thing at the boys
with Cal Ripken Jr.
Junior
Cal
at the Boys
Ripken
and Girls
Foundation.
Club.
Yeah.
Basically $1 million.
Oh, it's beautiful.
They
isn't it?
redid the gym with new flooring and stuff, but put in this great AstroTurf play field, sports field right outside. But that's why we didn't have a show. So the NBC sports people here, and they were going all over town.
They
So
were all over the place. Their first stop when they arrived on Monday was out at Kern County Raceway. Kyle Petty, Rutledge Wood came out. They were there for about 4 hours filming some sections for their show. Did some burnouts on the front straightaway at Kern County Raceway. Talked about the influence that Kevin Harvick had on getting that place built after Mesa Marin had shut down. Brought Ryan Reed in later on in the week. We had some of those guys from the NBC SN come out to the Friday night dirt race at Kern County Raceway. So it was a really cool deal. And then they went all over the place. Bakersfield Speedway. They went to the Bakersfield karting track with Kevin Harvick, where he ran some laps there, which was very, very cool.
They went to the old Mason Marin
Right.
with Marion Collins.
Right.
They went to the Poorhouse
Right.
on Rosedale Avenue and probably had a couple, knocked back a few drinks,
Absolutely.
I'm sure.
Fruitvale Avenue, yeah.
Fruitvale Avenue, right off of Rosedale.
And that's the Poorhouse.
Yeah,
P-O-U-R. Yeah.
Which probably takes a little of your money. It leaves
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
P-O-O-R.
And they went by the Crystal Palace, you know, all that stuff that just makes Bakersfield great, you know.
And that's going to be for an NBC Race America show in May, I think.
I believe when NBCSN or NBC gets ready to take over the coverage for NASCAR, that's when we're going to see most of that. I believe Kevin Harvick's going to be up in the booth a few times too. So
I think so.
Yeah.
And a couple others. This is a big weekend of racing.
Yeah.
We had a Formula One race in Australia, which means it was on like at 11 o'clock or midnight here live.
I missed it.
Had a big accident. Car flipped several times.
You know, we're talking, if we were to rewind the clock 15 years, that's a fatality.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fatality. That guy was in the air, turning upside down. And you just saw it. The guy in front of him, which I believe was the Haas Automation team, brand new Formula One team, kind of braked a little early, or braked, applied the brakes, applied the brakes a little early, and just caught that tire and just sent the guy up in the air. Oh my goodness, unbelievable! And glad to see he got out of there and just walked away.
And actually, I watched a lot of the race, and it was a pretty good race. Lewis Hamilton finished up second, to his teammate.
What's his name?
Rosberg, is that?
Rosberg, Nicky Rosberg, Kiki. See. That's a lot of foreigners in there, man, that I can't pronounce their names.
And the Haas Automation team in its debut race earned a point, finished sixth.
Nice.
Big deal.
That is a huge deal.
Haas. They just wanted to finish. You know, they went around, finished sixth. That's good. We had a little NHRA racing.
Finally, a couple weeks off.
Gainesville.
Yeah, you know, they take that break after the Phoenix race, and thank goodness, because that means we get to have the March meets with all those heavy hitters coming to town. But then back to Florida, Gainesville, Florida, and a big weekend for John Force Racing.
Big weekend. Brittany Force got the win in Top Fuel.
The chicks are dominating lately. That's back-to-back for the ladies in Top Fuel.
So good for her. Defeated Terry Milliken.
Yeah.
Terry Milliken, a rare final round appearance. Maybe if it's in funny car, Robert Height, John Force's driver, defeated Ron Capps. Both those guys are here almost every October for the Hot Rod Reunion, NHRA Hot Rod Reunion.
But a sweep for JFR, so it's good to see him kind of getting back at old Don Schumacher there. You know, that's the battle, between those two powerhouses.
That is so some pretty good racing. And in this storyline, Chris Karamessini's Golden Greek, 80-plus years old, had a first-round win. First time he's won a round in forever.
In Pro Stock?
In Top Fuel.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Anton Brown left before he double-clutched, basically, before the tree was activated.
Yes, sir.
Automatic win for Karamessinis, who was dog slow on the lights in the second round and lost. They had a reaction time of like almost 0.4 tenths.
That's not going to get it.
You're not going to win.
No.
So anyway.
Well, good for him. That's pretty cool,
That's a wrap-up on that, and we'll be back after a short break with a segment on Bakersfield Speedway.
All right.